Welcome to our show. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, Nipun. Happy Tuesday.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you, Basil, for joining the show. And you scored fourth on Alex Affiliate. So how's your journey?
The journey was quite interesting. And honestly, I would say you were one of those people that really, really challenged us towards the end and you kind of really blew that past the last 3 days were just insane. So I started a little bit later than typical. I knew of it, but I just had finished a big project. I was working on a big project at that time. And I, just as I had finished it, it just came back to my mind. I was like, let me check it out. So this was about 3 weeks in. And I decided to open the affiliate thing for the first time and start reading about it. And I really didn't pay it much mind because in my mind, I was kind of brainstorming, what am I going to do? What's my traffic style? Will I be able to use my email list? I work in financial services and I was like, the compatibility is completely different and I can't use the email list. I was like, okay, if I wanted to, who am I going to do this? What team I'm going to be building this with? And that's how that journey started. But having it in the back of my mind for a while, it gave me a few ideas that once I had some of these 3 different pathways I was going to explore this, I put down a kind of a game plan of how I'm going to test this, which was I'm going to try if I'm going to see which acquisition channel is the most efficient to scale all the way to the desired outcome. Obviously, my goal was number 1 the entire time. Halfway in, I think a week inside, we know what Shahid did. Shahid decided to go in and take
Yeah.
number 1 spot with like 9,300 registrations out of
Yeah.
nowhere. Do you remember that, Nipun? That was insane, huh?
Yes, I was talking to Shahid before this call, and I said, "What was the magic you did in 4 days?" And then he said, like, "Okay, I do some influencer marketing, and I do many channel manage, you blew it." And then, like, while I was documenting every day, when I see Shahid, and we got an email from Alex. Generally just update on every Friday, but when we get an email from Alex, someone Shahid come and just goes to the first, and then I said, okay, this guy should be able to chase him. And then after 5 days, I just dropped out. I am not able to reach 9,000. Then I said, like, let's try for a second. And then you
Yeah,
come
no, I
in,
was
and then
actually
you just start chasing everything. Yeah, yeah,
no, I really love the
yeah,
competition. I kept telling to the team.
yeah.
So I did not end up using any of our staff or resources. I called in some of our team that I built a team specifically for this project that I had, which was I had 1 full-time person on staff for the entire period. I just hired him for that period of time.
Okay.
And I started building a team of affiliates. So I've had the great opportunity. I want to thank everybody, of course, who supported this. I've had the great opportunity of working with great people, hiring different people, and having grown up in Malaysia, I went to an international school. So I had been exposed to a lot of different people from all around the world. And this time is when I wanted to, I was like, okay, every person, believe it or not, even if you are social media influencer, not social media influencer, every person has a network of about 300 people, give or take. On average,
Right.
I saw anywhere from the worst case scenario, it's 100 to 300 people on their contacts. And I wanted to go in and turn every regular person into an affiliate. Now, the question is, how do you incentivize people who have no desire to go to an Alex Hermosi event or may have never heard of Alex Hermosi? Or even worse, some of them might be in competition. Luckily for me, I leverage, and what I basically asked of each one of my affiliates, I did not have a different or a singular lead magnet. I basically had a call with each one of these people and I would recruit them to this cause. First, I sold everybody on the mission of what we are trying to accomplish. And I told them, hey, I'm on a mission and I'm a part of the biggest book launch in the world. And we're about to change the entire world. And I need your help. And not just that, I want to,
Okay.
and I made it less about myself and more about what we are going to accomplish. And I asked them a simple question saying, hey, I need your help and I want your help. I want you to do me a favor and I need your help. What can I do for you so you can dedicate all your time to helping me with this for the next couple days? And every person, no matter what somebody needed, I tried my best to provide that for me. Whether that someone needed an assignment done, I would go and teach them how to use AI to better do assignments and be better at research. Or if somebody wanted some help with a graphic design, I gave them a resource or a book to do that. And I came with a give first mindset that I'm not going to expect anybody to help me in any way, shape, or form, but we're going to go in and push for this mission, give first mindset. And then I copied Alex Hormozzi's entire kind of system. I was literally figuring things out as I go in Nipun. Like the system was not as polished in the beginning. I will tell you, it was really, really messy. I didn't know about sub IDs and diversifying that. So I knew how much each person registered. It was slapped on together. But every time I added somebody new, it got better and better and better. And that there's a big lesson in doing action first and figuring out later. If I had perfected this system, I might not have been even in the top 10 or the top 50. And that's what we kept on doing, is drilling and drilling and drilling on this. I built an affiliate book with scripts that were specifically meant for the warm market. And the biggest thing that drove registrations was follow-up messages to confirm attendance, and where we asked them, hey, when you check this out, I gave them a very tangible amount of time of what it took them to register. So I didn't say it took 5 seconds. I don't know why. I just picked 27 seconds because it felt believable enough to where people's like, hey, would you take 27 seconds to fill this out? Okay. And it's a life-changing event. If you miss it, I'll send you a recording. You know, if you miss it, we'll send you a recording because the affiliates get the recording, right? And it worked like hot fire. And after they sent that, I would tell them, wait 5 minutes after somebody says, okay, hey, just want to confirm, will I see you there? And if they didn't reply to that, I gave them 2 other like follow-up messages, ones with wings that were really, really low pressure, and equipping our people with that was the big game changer. I honestly thought I was going to make it to number 2 coasting through. I was like, number 2 is going to be easy. Then I have like you came out of nowhere. I was like, holy cow, Nipun, all respect to what you were doing. It was like the last 3 days felt intense because I went all crazy the last 3 days. I was calling up Perfume. I'm like, let's push. The last 3 days, I believe we did more registrations than the entire time or the entire period of the affiliate program. It was insane. So that was a little bit about the journey to number 2. Obviously, I think the hardest part of this journey to me was the wait to the announcement. I don't know if you remember this, Nipun, but it was like 4 hours in. I've had lunch. I thought it was going to be, everybody thought it was going to be at least 2 hours like last time. Like I remember I was there on the previous book launch. So when the announcement came, it just gave us that relief and confirmation that, hey, we did it. Let's go and rock and roll. So that was about the journey, Nipun. I'm curious as to yours as well.
Yeah. So like in my time, I live in India. So I thought like at 11 p.m. At 9:30, the whole event started, and I waited in my office till 11:30. Then I thought, like Alex will soon revealing it. Then I moved back to my place, and then I see at 3:30 a.m. in the morning. And before that we got a list, but we are not sure like what Alex will be announcing and other stuff. And I worked pretty hard for the ads also, because I started it. One of my friend told me, okay, this must sign up. Alex is launching a book, and already I'm a big fan of Alex. So I read all those books and implement like the value part. I implemented a lot, like in those meetings and other stuff. I always try to give value, and it helped me out in later on. Then 21 initially it looks like competition is very less, but you are very right at your place. Like as soon as we get going closer to the D-Day, it just went like all those numbers are going up. But then I thought like I got awarded by Russell Brunson also. So what I learned from is one to many selling. So I thought like, yeah, I have a good contact list, but people say, okay, we'll register, but they don't register because we have the backend portal and we can easily check. And they have registered. And I said, like, how we'll tell them, yeah, you are lying. And they are very close to one of my circle and they saying, because people take things lightly and they said, okay, what this guy is doing, like, why this telling me to sign up? Okay, Alex. And as soon as you click on the Alex link, the retargeting ads of Alex is everywhere. And then they thought, yeah, we are seeing ads of this guy, and that's how. Then I started doing big events like 500, 800 people. That's where I got the major traction. I started with the innovation. And earlier I used to do overseas events. I was not doing in my country. Then I go back to the same place and said, hey, you were telling me to do an event. That's how it all get pushed. The major one is what. And then I tried everything. I am good with cold emails. So there is a software called Instantly. So daily I was sending 10,000. Then I thought like how I get it to a right audience of digital marketing. I scrape the data from Apollo, from those marketing agencies. And as a value bonus, I give all my courses of AI. That's where I get the most leverage. People who don't know Alex, they ask for me for the AI courses. Right now, AI is quite trending. So that's how I leverage most. And I want to ask, like, what's your, like, how you feel right now? So you will getting lots of congratulations and other stuff. So how are you feeling right now?
Yeah. I think this is the funny thing of being an entrepreneur is that we work extremely, extremely hard to achieve some of these goals that we have. And for us to kind of always stay on game, it's always for us is like, okay, what's next? What's the next thing? What am I going to do? So when I remember winning, obviously you feel very proud of yourself. You feel very satisfied with an accomplishment that you have done. But I think the biggest accomplishment is only has started with what we are going to do with this, because I see as this group of entrepreneurs that have qualified, we're all really, really sharp people. I think this is the real win that we are doing right now. Meeting somebody like you, Nipun, who I would have never met in my life. And this conversation wouldn't have even happened if we didn't go and win and compete together. So the way I feel is what's next? How am I going to create a bigger impact? And how am I going to use these to hit my mission and goals? Alex put a funny joke on the Zoom. He's like, okay, that was like the 3 minutes of happiness. Now it's what's the empty feeling? What's the next goal that we're going to feel? Truth is, Nipun, I feel satisfaction from the journey more than just the goal. And that's why continuously putting the work is just so freaking satisfying. I had a blast competing.
Yeah.
It was a freaking great time. And I want more of that. I want more competition. I want to serve more people. I want to create more impact. And that's how I'm feeling right now. It was fun to win, yet bittersweet that the competition ended. I may have wanted it to go a little bit longer.
Yeah, and every day, like, I'm missing my schedule. Every time we woke up, we just open up a phone and check how many sign-ups, how many. Every time after 1 hour, we are checking how many sign-ups we are getting. So we miss those days. So you are into financial services. Can you tell our viewers, like, what exactly your next plans and how you help them? Can you little bit tell about more about your business?
Yes, absolutely. So my role in the company is to drive operations and the marketing for financial services. And what we do is we do holistic financial services. So we make sure somebody's taken care of from all aspects of the 6 silent killers of wealth. And there are different killers in different economies. But a lot of them are universal, which are taxes, inflation, and market volatility. And then here we have probate is a silent killer, meaning if someone doesn't have a will and trust, they have to go through a process where the government will dictate how their assets are divided. And there's a lot of fees that come with that. So we have probate, we have illnesses can be a wealth killer. Good hospitals are not cheap. And in the United States, I remember my grandfather's surgery, like he had a heart attack and a stroke. And thank God it was covered with insurance. but the bill was $1 million for that, like $1 million. It's crazy. And we're right here grinding an entire year to feel like an accomplishment is to make $1 million. Here we are, they get a full bill for just for a surgery. It was $1 million. Of course, illnesses and debt. So these are the 6 silent killers that we want to protect people from. And a holistic approach makes sure that they have different protections, and all the strategies are there to cover that. So wills and trusts, which are making sure that your next heirs have everything taken care of, life insurance to protect you in case of illnesses that have living benefits to them, and to make sure that if anything happens to you, you're taken care of. And then making sure you also are invested in index strategy with a diverse portfolio. And of course, the basics is that you're not in debt. Interest is insane killer of wealth, and credit cards have 20-30% interest in the US. It's a very big consumer society, bigger than anything I've seen. I grew up in Malaysia, and the consumer society is completely different. People buy here, and that's why credit cards and Affirm and all these companies are here. Like credit cards are booming in the United States because of that.
Okay, amazing. Sure. And we'll put your link in the description also, your social media handles where people can connect you for the financial services and other stuff. And I want to ask, like you did like with the affiliate, how you find the best affiliate who work for you? That is the key strategy which give you the maximum signups.
Very good question. I will say you have to look at it at a point of leverage, and then it's leverage and sales. So the best affiliate needs to be sold on being the best affiliate, but their leverage potential is how much audiences that they have. So I started looking at who I have the most leverage with, who has a school community, who has an email list, who are current friends of mine that are business owners. And building relationships are really, really an important thing. Relationships need to be nurtured and poured into over time. I believed in a give value first approach, and I never expect anything back. You know, my mother taught me a lesson one day. She's like, when you give to people, don't expect a return from people, expect a return from God. And that just made and allowed me to go and give value without needing to expect something from you or wanting a return, and then feeling disappointed that when I called, you didn't return the favor for me and burning that relationship. So I started a list, which is like number one, like you have to build a list. Literally inside the book, $100 Million Leads, you build a list. And then I started calling this list. And I had a conversation to them to know what was their pain and what was their dream outcome. Now, because these people had big audiences, their businesses, they have bigger problems to solve. And I wanted to make sure that I would put something for them that would solve this problem. Now, because I have built a lot of good rapport with them, and I have built a lot of goodwill, they've already been pre-sold. But the way that you want to have a conversation, it's a very specific style of talking that lets them know that there's a bigger picture. And I think I talked about that a little bit before. But the last thing someone wants to do is talk to someone who's I want this. I want to be number one. I want to make this happen. I want to go and meet Alex Ramosi. I want to go have dinner with them. The moment you make it about yourself, people feel that. And it doesn't become something bigger that people really want to push for. I can go and help a friend out with a favor. But when I feel there's a bigger calling involved, I feel like I feel emotions attached to this, and I feel a reason that I would like to push for this. And every person, it's a little different. Like if I was talking to somebody, let's say from Malaysia, who, you know what, they might not have the same, opportunities as entrepreneurs there, because the entrepreneurship culture is not as spread there as maybe in the United States. So what could I do for a person like that? Maybe if I connect that person with other people, that's what they need. Or maybe they need a mission, say, hey, we need to spread entrepreneurship where you're at. We need more people like you. And when you can speak to somebody's soul, you can really shake mountains. So that's what I feel have driven the people around me to really, really promote this link and drive these registrations because I focused less on myself and I painted a bigger picture of what this means for them.
Amazing. And I love your speaking skills. Like you always do a pause at a perfect time, and that's where you deliver it like more connected towards you. So I love the way you speak, man. And I see lots of your stuff related to perfumes. Can you tell something like how you are so much passionate about the perfumes one?
Oh my goodness, you're putting me on the spot here. Something ever since I was young, my mother makes it keeps telling me like I was a really, really fancy kid. I don't care about brands. I don't care about Gucci, Prada. I don't care about the brand. I'm a big fan of quality for a very long time. I've liked quality. That's why I like to deliver quality business, quality relationships. And one of the things I love to do is explore. So the first time I explored scent, that opened a whole new world for me because you ever hug somebody or somebody walks past you and you kind of turn your neck and you can really make a strong impression of someone by the way that you present yourself. And that's clothing, that's dressing, that's smiling, that's, these simple things make an impact of how somebody feels about you. And it's very easy to say, hey, if they should know you, like don't judge a book by its cover, but it's not the real reality of how the world works. Someone can be a beautiful soul, but the way that we dress, the way that what we wear, the perfume that we have can put an impression of who we are. And that's the language of communicating who we are. It's through our words, it's through our body language, it's through what we wear, our scent. It gives us an idea of the personality that we have, wearing a suit versus a hoodie versus, these simple things. And scent is one of these things that I enjoy because one, it allowed me to explore different things. I could tell you about a very interesting brand called Zoologist, Nipun, that you smell it and each perfume is supposed to embody what an animal would taste like. There's a scent called Squid. Smells like the ocean. The ocean. There's a scent called Bee, which smells like honey. You're like, it's a whole world of exploration. For me, take it as a place to, one, I like to always see myself in a good way. I like to smell good, look good, present myself good, because I want to communicate with people about who I really am at my core. If I made messy hair and I didn't articulate myself correctly, well, you're going to automatically assume I am this or that. And it's a natural human thing. I try to be as open and I always push to be as open-minded as possible with people, but I can't expect that to come from others. And that's one of the reasons I love perfumery and I love scent.
So if in the final question, like lots of people ask for a long lasting perfume. Look, lots of high end brands, they are good initially, but they are not long lasting. So any perfume you can recommend to our audience who are watching, which is long lasting?
Okay, I'm going to give you guys a lesson on perfumery right here. I've thought about just creating a social media account for perfumery. That way, when I spend a lot of money on perfumes, it actually has a return, or I'm creating something for it. So you can always respray the perfume as long as you're getting good performance, which is anywhere from around 5 to 6 hours. You're good on. You can always respray. So you can bring a bottle. You could get like an atomizer that sprays and you refill it. What you're looking for is, one, you can bunch up fragrances to a few things. You have fresh fragrances, you have fragrances that smell clean, you have night fragrances, date fragrances. So you would want to ask, okay, what is your budget first? And then what kind of scent you want. The funny thing about fragrances is spending more doesn't mean that you're going to get way higher quality. So you have designer, you have niche, and you have Middle Eastern fragrances. Designer is what everybody knows. The Armani, the Dior fragrances, the YSL. You'll see this in most
Chanel,
stores.
yeah.
Chanel. Yeah, as you said it.
Yeah.
Niche is where the really high-end perfumery is. Some of them are $400 to $600. And please use discounters. You can Google the perfume name. There's a lot of credible places that sell it lower.
Right.
But these are usually made by people who dedicate their entire life to perfume. So think about what you do, for example, Nipun, with your business. There's a guy, his entire role and his entire company and their entire job is just to make perfumes. These are called niche. And Middle Eastern fragrances they're competing with niche fragrances. Not all of them are clones, and some of them dupe the niche fragrances and the designer fragrances. But these are fragrances that are between 30 to 50, sometimes 30 to $60 range, and have great quality. So to answer your question, Nipun, what would I recommend somebody? It would be based on their budget. So I'm going to give a few recommendations out there. Some in the lower tiers, some in the higher tiers. Is that okay with you, Nipun?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, perfect.
In the $30 to $50 range, I'm going to give you guys a fresh fragrance. One will be called Mango Ice. This is like a fresh, original, very authentic mango flavor. It's a dupe of mango. It's a dupe of, I really forgot the name of the dupe. And another one is called Mason Asrar Legacy EDP. It's a dupe of Blue Talisman. This is $30 to $50. These are fresh summer fragrances. If you want a winter fragrance, another one here is going to be French Avenue Fragrance World it's called French Avenue Liquid Brun. That's a autumn fragrance in that $30 to $50 fragrance. You could get it from Joma Shop or wherever your local area is. I know different stores with different retailers and e-commerce around the world.
Yeah.
So that's in the budget category. Now let's go big ballers, right? All our big ballers, for our big ballers, you could get either the other version for fresh fragrances. You can get Suspiro Vibrato, or you can also get Blue Talisman. And here's a very underrated one a lot of people have not heard of before. This is one of my favorites. I'm going to give you guys game. It's called Fragrance de Bois Cavort. Cavort. I don't recommend buying that one because that's one is my favorite. But I spilled out the fumes, no gatekeep.
Yeah, amazing. So actually, like I'm also fond of perfume, but not that like you are very crazy out of it. So I used like lots of designer perfumes earlier. Like me and my wife go and just shop, and then when we are traveling, we just see some duty free and other stuff. We just pick. And then later on, I realized, like I was attending something or reading somewhere, that your perfume needs to be like your personality. Like, so then I gradually, like from the past 2.5 years, I stick to only one perfume. So whenever I goes to any room, lots of people just recognize, because that is the always I am having the same fragrance. And I like just like after 5 or 6, whenever I just stepping down from my car, I'm stepping down anywhere, I just made up a habit. I just need to spray that, and there is like a oud for the same, like where I just make it over here, and whenever I meet someone, then I just recognize it like my fragrance only now. Now I just keep on repeating that, and I have that only one in stock. My wife again like buy lots of other designer stuff, but I stick to now the one only.
Okay, awesome, man.
So-
when you find something you like, that's all you need.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you for having your valuable time, and I will put all those links in the description. So whoever is listening to us, like I will share your Instagram and others. Just please share it with me. I will put it in the description. And if somebody having a good financial I think like it's my recommendation. I don't like how you see, but you need to start some channel related to perfumes. Also, you have a like very in-depth knowledge of the same. Just make it gradually, while every time in the morning, whenever you're spraying it.
Yeah,
And give me
I'll
royalty
show you
also
my
when you become
I'll let you know. I'll let you know. If I do become a fragrance creator, I don't know if I would. No promises here, but if I do, we could collaborate on some. We could maybe collaborate in Vegas.
Yeah, done, man, done. And see you soon. And thank you so much for joining.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Bye bye.